Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I just want to have this as a generic civil justice sign off. Whatever I want for the civil justice, for I am displaying the USA government errors, public sector errors, private sector errors, and how USA government operations got destroyed, and for displaying the Absolute-Monarchs scandal. I, Vethapriya PROSE, wanted these civil justice to be provided to me. Okay, so I'll just read the sign off so that it will be in all these other sessions. Okay, so for I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, and true owner of USA, and proved USA is Tamil Nadu, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, have highest impasse eligibility to lead USA. I must be the interim leader of USA now is civil justice served. And for I, Vethapriya PROSE, displayed USA government errors and the scandal of Absolute-Monarchs to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, for civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want United States of America nation to rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu, India, after my name Vethapriya is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become the Vatican leader now is civil justice served. And Pope Francis resigns abruptly now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations, now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Family Law and Supreme Chief Children Judge for all nations is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Department of Children Families, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Export, Department of Military in all nations across the globe is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to be the ambassador for all nations, starting with India, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, should get dual citizenship of USA and India now is civil justice served. And thank you all for your time. Take care, my dear fellow mankind. I sure will get civil justice for entire human kingdom in 1 minute. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now. Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I hope we are all on the same page on this regard. And moving on from this session onwards, I think I will go fastest, but whenever there be a need for overview or testimony session, I will provide it. Okay. Queen, not Queen, the Q1 2021 is Q1 January 2021 and Q1 February 2021 and Q3 to March of 2021. So deadliest crime. What is the deadliest crime? At fault found guilty Republican government and Democrat of USA and Absolute-Monarchs, Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II, and Pope Francis created MasterCard worldwide. MasterCard tax fraud worldwide. And that is Antichrist Pope Francis created the MasterCard tax fraud is proved by I, Vethapriya PROSE, and Antichrist Queen Elizabeth II created MasterCard is proved by I, Vethapriya PROSE. So, for I, Vethapriya PROSE, proved the scandal of Absolute-Monarchs and proved Pope Francis is Roman Empire King he wrote as of February 2021. Any salary as in tax-free billions of dollars, USA government can provide effective immediate using direct deposit to my bank account to I am that I am, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, true Israelite tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of all nations worldwide. Can help me. Scandal faces of Republican Europe nations worldwide. Republica at fault found guilty. Prostitutes of Europe, USA, tax fraud, March of 2021 is proved. So at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, MasterCard tax fraud provided by tax fraud is crime. Provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Democrat government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Queen Elizabeth II provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Pope Francis provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, GOP Mitch McConnell provided tax fraud crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, President Trump 2016 to 2020 and President Joe Biden 2020 to 2024 provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Roman Province Jesuits Organization of State of Wisconsin, State of Michigan, State of Illinois, State of New York, State of Maryland, State of Louisiana, State of Missouri, State of California, State of Oregon provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE. Note: Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and MasterCard created robocall poverty mandate, enforced poverty mandate. Poverty disabled to I. Vethapriya, PROSE on October 2018 is proved. For Prostitute Republican government of USA to steal the rightful Supreme Court judge job of USA on October 2018, that rightful belonged to I. Vethapriya, PROSE. So civil law must be provided now without any delay. I. Vethapriya, PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, own the text for ongoing civil justice sign-off. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, as in Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and MasterCard tax fraud, created robocall poverty mandate to I. Vethapriya, PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, and Republican government GOP leader Mitch McConnell, President Trump, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in October 2018 enforced poverty mandate to I. Vethapriya, PROSE abruptly on October 2018, and Republican government of United States of America took away $4,500 on October 2018 abruptly and enforced finance debt of $10,000+ since October 2018, October 2019, October 2020, and as of quarter 1 of January 2021, February 2021, March 2021 to I. Vethapriya, PROSE, enforced finance disabled to I. Vethapriya, PROSE abruptly. It is crime for at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government and Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis and MasterCard tax fraud, created robocall poverty mandate is proved, and so civil justice is I. Vethapriya, PROSE, want Citibank CEO to pay off my debt $10,000+ and sign off tax-free $5,000, and at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and MasterCard tax fraud, created robocall poverty mandate with fatal negligence, so must sign off tax-free $1,500 trillion to be direct deposited in my bank account for all types of damages done by selfish, cunning, Islam, Judaism, Absolute-Monarchs types, wild endangered species, and health creators, and at fault and found guilty, Holy Highness God of USA, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and Republican government of USA will provide the needful help accordingly to be in the same page. And I successfully completed in a less session. It is 5 minutes and 45 seconds. 45, it's almost 6 minutes, but it's still worth it. It's still okay for a lesser session, right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, when I was working on the Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 volunteer project, I educated nation must never provide any credit cards. Okay, so that is the highest level of crime. Okay, and then on top of it, that is one crime. And then what is the second crime? They provided MasterCard credit card, Visa card credit card. So 2 types of crime. Can you see the exponential increase? Can you see the crime on the severity level? Okay, then I went on to educate. It is a typical behavioral pattern of the Islam, Judaism, Zionism, the paganists. They are the ones who will provide lot of interest and get salary from interest itself. That itself will be an income for them. It is very common. I don't know, in India it is common. And government says it's okay. Right? So that is how I cracked down the true criminal on the forehead. Who? Who is the one? Who is that black sheep? Who is that villain? Who is that culprit? Who is the hell creator that created credit card at the first place? Can you all see why everybody threw acid on me? Yes, my dear fellow man, can you all have to know why everybody threw acid on me, isn't it? I was educating only wisdom. I educated credit cards must never be there. Okay, then what else I educated? I educated only people knows how to use the credit card alone must use the credit card. But then these people are so selfish, they never educate how the population should use the credit card. I went and educated that. What is credit? It is like if a civilian cannot pay now, they can pay it later. But for that, they need some kind of immediate assistance. Who can provide that assistance? The banking sectors. How? They have to provide a card and they have to name it. It is a credit card and say to the population, if you have $100 of grocery bill, you use our credit card, but you can still pay later. This is how they attract. They're prostitutes, isn't it? This is how they will provide the advertisement and the commercials and, the MasterCard, how they provide advertisement priceless is their slogan, isn't it? What wonderful commercial it is, isn't it? Whenever people watch that commercial, they will say, wow, like that, right? That is the absolute behavioral pattern of the prostitutes. It is easy to lure and seduce and attract the people to fall in trap. They never say the real dark filthiness behind that's going on in the crime. I proved it right now. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, MasterCard facility must be sealed and shut down. They provided tax fraud. They cannot even say, see, Pope Francis only asked us to provide tax fraud. No, they cannot say that. Right? How many humans' emotions have been tortured because of this credit card crime, right? The calculator, the software, algorithm, logics, everything wrong. When the same credit card can be given to the celebrities without any question. When people wanted the same immediate assistance, if they want to say they are unemployed, they'll be rejected, right? Like you and me, if we want to go and ask for the credit card assistance, because that is a real valuable one, right? So, if I go to the Walmart and I pay $100 worth of grocery, then I can swipe this credit card. And I don't even have to pay immediately. I can pay a little later. That will give me the breathing time. So people needs to know how to use it and when to use it, the credit card. Otherwise, they will fall in the hot fire. They will fall in volcano. They will fall in like a fire. And these MasterCards and these banking sector, they are super mean. Not anymore. Not anymore. Oh yeah. I will only seal and shut down MasterCard and say get out, right? Can you see why I become helpless mode? That even in the at-fault mode, I could see innocence and I can only bail out MasterCard. That is the minimum least help I can provide. I can provide only that least minimum help. For swiping the card, that's a charge. For paying by the paying any bill by the credit card, that's a charge. When you go to the grocery store, if you want to swipe that card in the ATM, there is a charge. So charge 1, then comes what? Sales tax once, federal tax once, federal tax, and then state tax, and then sales tax. 3 times of tax for one transaction. So let's say if a Jane Doe or a John Doe goes to the Walmart and swipes the credit card once, that's a charge for swiping itself. People will not know. So charge once means what? Okay, there's a charge, maybe $1 or a $2 or $3 or $5 for swiping that card alone. Okay, then sales tax, federal tax, then state tax. Then the Jane Doe or Joe Doe will pay $100 for the grocery, and for that $100 bill will be the basic baseline, then sales tax, state tax, then the federal tax. Okay, then the Jane Doe or John Doe, when going out of the grocery, out of the Walmart, there will be gas station. He or she will swipe that same credit card for the gas station, $50 or $30, then pay sales tax, state tax, and federal tax. Then go back to home. While going back to the home, goes to another grocery store where there is an ATM, swipes the card, pays the charge for the swiping the card in an ATM, then sales tax, federal tax, then state tax, then comes back home. Then there is a utility billing or the telecom billing or internet billing, isn't it? So calls over that billing center and pays the card another $2 to $3 for the payment by phone. Now imagine how many dollars went for that, spent by Joe Doe and Jane Doe, which should have been prevented. All these costs must not be provided to them, isn't it? Don't you all think so? When it is $100 worth of grocery, just $100. Because we all know that it's going to be going to the farmers, right? So why that education was not provided? Can you see the crime is skyrocketing? How many humans are there? Okay, just let's put a math, okay, a rough math. Per civilian head count per credit card. So that itself becomes 7.9 plus billions credit cards. Now imagine I just now multiply what, 4 or 5 transactions, which I multiply that by the 7.9 plus billions of head counts. They are doing the same transactions every day. Let's put it. Imagine how much of dollars this MasterCard alone makes it, and how many trillions of dollars daily Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis eats. I already said USA and all nations must provide the status report every single day and provide that, feed that tax money into the mouth of Queen Elizabeth II, like a spoon feeding. Otherwise she will kill all the nations. Nobody knows that. So this crime is all about the MasterCard alone, isn't it? Why? Because okay, this is just one card, but then in the MasterCard they create different products. So different types of credit cards has different features in it. They go by the color code. Silver color card, it looks so good. Golden color card, oh, it looks like more good. Goldy, like that. Not Goldie Hawn. Is that her name? Yeah. Then, what? Or Whoopi Goldberg, right? The gold card, the silver card, the platinum card, right? How they fool the people. How Americans, without any awareness, they just fall in the lake of fire, just by using the credit cards alone. How many people will have many credit cards? I just only talked about one credit card per head count. That is just rough estimate. At least one credit card more. But it's not mandatory that only one credit card should be there. As long as a civilian knows how to manage different credit cards with the money management processing, that's fine, right? But when people don't know how to manage it, and when they fall short of paying the money because becoming life event changes of unemployed or health issues or medical billing or other expenses coming up unexpectedly, then that organized way of providing the money management and budgeting falls short. People fall in the trap, right? They get in the debt. People die out of, when people are put in that finance strain, the stress, people die out of the stress alone, my dear fellow mankind. These bank people are super mean, isn't it? Not anymore. Not anymore. I've taken cane in my hand, isn't it? Yeah, they all can live free, and they can watch me live free with the acid and the scars on my face. But it is going to be my way. I am going to teach what MasterCard should do. It is my way. Oh, that's a saying that it is my way or something, some kind of a slang, right? When I say it's my way, it might seem so rude, isn't it? Yes or no? If you're saying yes, then you're not saying the truth. If you're saying no, then I know you're saying for namesake, no. Right? But there's a reason behind it. Because, okay, the government wanted to create, like how the government wanted for utility services, even for credit card, this kind of a services, they wanted to find the providers. So they came up with, okay, let there be 2 or 3 or 4, I think. American Express, Discover Card, and MasterCard and Visa. See, these are the higher level the USA came up with. But what should educated population should have done? Like Dr. Fauci and Dr. Briggs. When they were very busy of providing mask for the advertisement for the mask for the plague that never even existed, they could have provided guidelines for masking, provide the mask for all these credit cards, isn't it? Can you see how I'm nailing down the crime of Department of Health Services left and right? And you all got it, how that $500 billion is indeed the worth it civil justice, isn't it? So doctors, they never bothered. They knew. They wanted population, in other words, the doctors, the Department of Health Services wanted the population to die out of finance crisis. Then why? Then they can sign off lot of death certificates, isn't it? That will all come into their resume. This many death certificates they signed, this many birth certificates they signed. So it's all for tax process and for business, tax revenue. So by creating finance crisis for fellow mankind, $1 trillion revenue is being got by USA government with the fatal negligence of Department of Health Services, Department of Welfare Services, Department of Insurance, Department of Complaints, Department of Pentagon, Department of Mortgage, Department of Finance, Department of Housing, Department of Farming, Department of Import-Export, Department of what not of a department, all prostitutions, isn't it? When all these injustices were seen in their own eyes, they were kept quiet. For how long the scandal has been going on? There again, this MasterCard and these credit cards and finance services must be only 30 to maximum maybe 50 years old. That is all, right? Not more than that. Before that, how people were living? They were using cash, right? For whenever they want to go to the grocery, they were using cash. If they do not have cash, they will not go. So I educated each and every single nation must provide what? Debit card. Now you all got it, right? How there is electronic benefits transaction card, EBT card. I provided a basic from scratch, I provide the design, how it should be, where the text should go, how the text and the tech codes should be provided. I provided everything. That's a proof, right? I do not want to go in those details one more time. So what exactly went wrong? 5% to 13% to 23% of the interest has been bombarded on the civilians using the credit cards. And above all, if they cannot pay on the due date, a late fee will be charged. Are they humans? Oh yeah, they will be humans now and beyond, because I am there, isn't it? I will educate. Mastercard. Do you all know one thing? You have to be first, should know what is being humans always, beyond providing the Mastercard like that. When nobody knows, no, can you see why? How many humans are there in USA? 300 million as of today, approximately, maybe. Can you see why there is no one human head in United States of America? It's a shameless thing, isn't it? It's a shameless or shameful for USA. That answer, you figure it out. There is no doctors yet. Year is already 2021. There is no teachers yet. There is no lawyers yet. There is no judges yet. That is how USA is broken in pieces. Why? Why nobody stood up and educated that this finance crime is going on forever? Why? Do you all know the severity of this crime? This particular crime I'm talking about? Deadliest. Whatever crime I'm displaying is deadliest, zero tolerance crime, isn't it? Skyrocketing. Skyrocketing once, skyrocketing twice, skyrocketing. Even the Milky Way, the galaxy also will explode. Looking at the crime provided by the selfish Queen Elizabeth II. Even Milky Way galaxies, even they cannot tolerate this crime. Because it's skyrocketing how many times? The occurrence, right? Anything and everything has its own threshold level, the tolerance level. For how long she has been eating this crime dollars? Oh my gosh, forever, right? Forever. And they all thought that nobody will stand up and ask them, because nobody was able to figure out the root cause. That is the reason. Now I have all the root causes on it, so nobody can escape. These thugs, the criminals, the prostitutes, they cannot escape. MasterCard has to go to jail. So now tell me, will Nestle market MasterCard, will MasterCard will market Hewlett-Packard, or will Hewlett-Packard market Humana, or will Humana market Walmart, or will Walmart market Amazon? You tell me, who will market each other? Everybody is fallen trap, right? That is what this crime is all about. That is what this crime is all about. Utility tax fraud and housing tax fraud. Credit card is one of the basic essentials, but it's not given to the people who are in need. Homeless people should just must just walk, keeping their head straight, and must walk into any of the banking sector, and they must say, I am homeless, provide a credit card, provide a debit card, provide a short-term loan for me. I know how to improve my economy. They should have the line of business product for that. They do not have it. Can you see how I handcuffed each and every single bank worldwide? Be it World Bank, be it Scotland Bank, be it Western Bank in Israel border, be it Ireland Bank, be it London Bank, be it Deutsche, right? That's what they call it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Just ignore it. the Germany bank I'm talking about. DEUSCTE. I don't know how to pronounce it. Deus or whatever. Right? Then France Bank, then United States of American, all the US bank corps, big corporations. Right? I handcuffed everybody. They all will puke, only pass, because they are super frustrated because they cannot go and fix the software immediately. It's not easy job. They just like that cannot go to the software developers and ask them, hey, software developers, see this Vethapriya figured out the real loophole and the deadliest crime in finance services. Oh, we are in a hot seat, please provide the software immediately. No, it's not that way. That's not how it works, right? So then that means they have to put work overload on the software people to work on it. They'll go mad. One side they cannot quit during this COVID-19. One side they have to work, and one side they cannot even say it's not going to work. It's not going to work. No matter what, it's not going to work. I'm saying it upfront, right? It's not going to work. Because this MasterCard is going to hit on every single gateway and checkpoints, and people will go crazy. If the software developer or developers teams are going to do a code change in one part of the session, he or she, the teams, have to break their heads forever, because there are zillions of software lines, isn't it? The logic, I already said, you're seeing each session, right? Each session that's how the program logic works. It goes and checks on each and every logic. So when there are zillions of software lines, in which logic the software developer will even know where that particular algorithm must be updated? It's impossible. Because these finance services are having very old age legacy systems also. Right? We are in robo era. Even not even robo, drones era. Right? Even robo got their upgrade. They themselves got upgraded, a makeover. But we humans are lagging behind in everything. Be it humanity, displaying the love, nothing. Everything we are lagging. Humans are lagging. Why? What went wrong? Why? Can you see why women in each organization are super evil, after all? Why? Why women are super evil in each and every single organization I'm displaying? Why? Because women are double innocent women. Okay, then double innocent is directly relates to what? Wisdom. But on the other end, when the double innocent woman yields to sexual immorality, becomes foolish. Not single time foolish, it's a double times of foolish. They become super deadliest evil. Queen Elizabeth II is one example. Pope Francis another example, right? So, the credit card. The major chunk, the core functionality of the credit card is all works only with the interest. Otherwise, there is no credit card. And that provided me that clue, like a detective, right? I figured out what is the root cause. And everything traced only to the Islam, Judaism, Zionism, because I am aware they are the ones who provide, they make a living out of creating interest alone. They drink human blood as in the form of interest. They really don't care. They think it is normal to do it. It's a normal way of life. It's been a way of life for Greek Empire. It's been a way of life for Egyptians. If you go to United Arab Emirates, it'll be there. It's their way of living. They say that is way of earning for them, passive income mode kind of category. They make it legalized. It is a way of Babylonian Empire process model. It is a role model of how the Roman Empire also provided. So no empire population can mock at each other. Statue of Liberty, France said it is Justice Lady, but it is not. It is modeled after Queen Elizabeth II to mandate and fool population that, hey, whoever enters into the United States of America forever will be slaves to Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis forever, Absolute-Monarchs, Islam leaders forever. Nobody knew. Already the European Americans, they got fooled one way, right? They all ran to escape from that Pope Francis torture and Queen Elizabeth torture only. They never knew the moment they're going to come into this Ellis Island mode, they'll be sold as slaves to Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis. They are still slaves and improving it, right? Why are they today? There is what's the need? What's the scope? What's the objective for Roman province Jesuits organization? What good they did to the humanity? Nothing, right? Even when people are getting tortured, they were just only watching. This Roman province Jesuits organization, the Roman Catholic fathers, prostitutes, Roman Catholic nuns, prostitutes, right? No. Roman Catholic population cannot get angry at me. It's okay if they're going to spit on my face, but I'm saying Roman Catholic fathers are purest form of prostitutes. That's the way it is. That's the truth. You all have to digest the truth, right? That is called evolution. It's a before and after. Before, people in the full mode will thinking, oh, they are God. After, with understanding, with wisdom, oh, they are prostitutes. This is the evolution process, right? Understanding. Understanding of complex in the simplest form is called as a wisdom processing, right? So you all got it. Why and who created all this kind of havoc? The MasterCard tax fraud. Deadliest. And this is just only one crime. So we are in this almost last part, the 10% part of the crime display part, right? And this is just a start. How are your puking going on? Keep puking, no matter what. Because this crime must be solved right now. I know President Joe Biden will only faint and pass away. Because the crime of MasterCard tax fraud is deadliest. People will slap on his face and ask why President Joe Biden, being a lawyer, never bothered to fix that crime. There is no other crime beyond providing a tax fraud and collecting all the tax in the form of interest in an injustice way from the people. I already provided all the education earlier, right? With the Bible quotations. Why, how Jesus Christ and the Zacchaeus, the tax collector, right? It's a parable. It's an wisdom education after all. So I don't know whether President Joe Biden have to say whether he knows what is Holy Bible or he should say he don't know what is Holy Bible. Either Pope Francis has to live in earth or Holy Bible should be fried in ashes. Let it be a super challenge. This is a challenge I provided to the population when I educated. It's a super challenge, isn't it? Either Holy Bible will be burnt in ashes or Pope Francis will be burnt in ashes. Either ways we won the case though, right? Either ways we won the case. I have every proof. Nobody can escape justice. Nobody. What would you all have done? We all never knew, right? From getting the grocery food part, that is one part. Then by the time you're coming to the cash counter, you have to take the credit card and swipe it. Right. And in that swiping alone, see how many crimes are there. I displayed all this crime. And there is more crime also. This MasterCard is just one, I would say, a size of a mustard crime. This itself is trillions of dollars worth of scam, right? So that means there is a huge part of the crime to be displayed. This is just only one drop or one dot of a mustard seed of a crime I displayed. That itself is, people are puking. People cannot tolerate that crime when I'm displaying it. And you all got it why people threw acid on me. And why women are super jealous of me always, right? And how women create their own way of hell for me. And why always the cleanest heart stands out, right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, MasterCard provided tax fraud is the deadliest crime. Please understand the severity of the crime I'm talking about. That is very important. That is very important. To understand what is the crime is all about. It's so deadliest. There is a zero tolerance. So each and bank sectors are crashed in pieces, as clearly written in the Revelation 18 chapter, right? Because they cannot fix their calculator, the rate engine they call it, which calculates this is how much interest each civilian has to pay according to the loan, according to the credit card, according to the payment, right? So calculator is crashed means what? Entire their line of business is all crashed in pieces. It is the banking sectors who are freaked out more because the crime is skyrocketing. Right? We civilians only slap on the face of president and will ask, right? And I'm displaying President Trump is innocent. How innocent he is, how innocent can be President Trump. He was owning casino. Taj Mahal Casino, isn't it? That is a display of innocence. How many transactions of the MasterCard must have been done in a casino? In 1 hour? We all can work on that rough estimate, right? On a very basic knowledge which we have. In casino, will there be only one civilian? No, right? And this MasterCard only I'm talking about. Then there is all the other filthiness, which I already covered in the earlier session about the Las Vegas Sin City part of it, right? Pope Francis has to answer. I chopped his head. But President Trump is innocent. When he was owning a casino, right? That means that many transactions from the MasterCard must have been provided. All tax fraud. We all got it, right? Can you see the severity of the crime? But still, even in that mode, President Trump is innocent in my book of civil law. President Joe Biden is not. Because all along, it's a common sense only, all along is in his long tenure of his career, lawmaking processing, he must have heard about the word MasterCard if not using it. Let's do another math. Out of 300 millions of populations of USA, Let's say only 1% is using MasterCard. The 99% of do not have cards at all, do not have any bank account at all. Let's put it that way. And President Joe Biden comes under that 1%, isn't it? Because he's filthy rich. For him, it's not a job that he has to become a president job, then earn the salary, then save the money, then have to get the home. No. Even become before president, he's filthy rich. He's the richest person. So, whether President Joe Biden has to say whether he knows what is MasterCard, or President Joe Biden has to say don't know MasterCard, being a lawyer. How many minutes, how many seconds, how many hours, how many weeks, how many months, how many years in past 50 years was there given to President Joe Biden in his career of lawmaking? At least 1 minute he could have stepped up and provided healthy processing, isn't it? Right? How easy is it to provide a healthy law? It's not a rocket science, no, right? But why that brain was not working for President Joe Biden? Why? It is because Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, President Joe Biden are prostituting with each other. That's the reason. That's the proof. That's the live proof. So if you're going to compare him with the President Trump, even President Trump is also prostituting with Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, but there is innocence there. Only vices alone can see that innocence. Foolish cannot. So we all thought, okay, we all thought we have to pay the tax for grocery food. Nobody knew. These Americans, the white-skinned Americans at least must have been educated, right? Because that's what they say. The Queen Elizabeth, Pope Francis, and the white European Americans and the Republican, the Mitch McConnell, Schumer, they are all talking only for white skin only, right? Heart of heart, they will talk only white skin only. Even they never stood up and they never provided any help to the white-skinned European Americans either. That itself is a live proof. It's never about the racial part. It is about the deadliest crime that is behind the scenes, I would say. Nobody knew. How many transactions just by swiping that card, plastic card, alone, Elizabeth II every single day gets to eat the tax dollar, by drinking human blood. We all have heard about the Bloody Mary, but it is happening right now, this moment, right? Queen Elizabeth II is another form of a Bloody Mary, a cunning prostitute. It can be on a different avatars, isn't it? Torturing population can be in different avatars, different forms, different versions. She took different route. That way people cannot even have a clue that Queen Elizabeth II is only creating all this havoc. Because when she's going to provide a Christmas message, it is going to be sweetest talk. When Pope Francis provides a Christmas message and sermon, it is going to be sweetest talk. No matter what. Versus, you are seeing me. I know you're not laughing about me being me, isn't it? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. I display the frustration, and it's always for injustice alone. And I provide healthy anger, and I can provide healthy anger management processing as well. So how long she has been eating this tax money only from MasterCard alone? There is more crime to come on its way. MasterCard crime alone is $1 trillion of tax fraud crime. Can you see why Citibank has to kneel down in front of me and just pay $10,000, which I'm asking for the civil justice? Can you all even getting that education? And all along, I've been asking only Citibank to pay me the 10,000 plus dollars and $5,000 that the robocall that President Trump and they all took away. I want to took away the dollars. I want to get that dollars back. That's all. But then, when MasterCard is $1 trillion, crime is coming here. It's a gate point. It's a checkpoint, right? This is how the program logic functions. Now tell me, I don't know, Citibank CEO must also go to jail. Beyond paying me the $10,000 and the $5,000 part of it, that's separate process. But beyond that, let's keep that aside. With this MasterCard tax fraud crime alone, Citibank CEO should get to the chair any moment. And it's not only Citibank, it is Microsoft, it is Google, it is Apple, Oracle, you name anything. So, can you see how the program logic functions and operates and throws the correct error? The layman people will always be wondering, right? How on the earth these robots are working so correctly like that? When you go and self-checking out, that's a robot, right? Even if you are taking one bag extra, it will say, please put back the bag wherever it belongs. It'll say it loud. Right? Or instead of having putting two butters or two apples, you're just weighing for one apple and putting another apple in the bag. It will say, please, unidentified product in the bag, please throw it out. Right? People just wonder how those robots work, right? When you're going on the car, the self-parking car, I think Toyota came up with that. I'm not sure, right? But I'm not fan of those self-parking cars or self-driving cars. Basically, it's my choice, right? I'm not fan of it. That's all. Because error is an error. When software errors of these kind of stuff happen, it'll crash, it'll go mad, right? So, how this MasterCard tax fraud is $1 trillion scandal. It is 50 minutes now, so I will cut down this session here because there is lots of crime I have to display. Right? What would you all have done? We all fallen in trap, that's all. We population have fallen in trap. So USA must pay back whatever it took away in injustice way from us, in the form of dollars. Must pay back. It is the USA must pay the tax. I even provided a solution. The USA can even ask two options to the population. Hey population, do you want every month tax returns or you want USA to pay yearly tax? Then people can pick and choose, right? How healthy processing that would be. People do not even have to wait whether they have the job or not. At least this little bit of, the healthy finance, that will provide the jump start part of it, right? When people are not putting in that finance train mode, that itself is a lot of help because they will have to undergo the other pain and other agony. When all the pain and agony comes into one spot and one same time, that will be too much for the civilians to handle it. Right? So why that basic humanity got destroyed? So here I proved Senate, you name it, Republican Senate or Democrat Senate are prostitutes. Republican GOP and Democrat GOP are prostitutes. Republican Congress and Democrat Congress are prostitutes. Republican House of Representatives and Democrat representatives are prostitutes, isn't it? And this is a telltale sign, a behavioral pattern, how the prostitutes will behave. They'll fooling fellow mankind is the first job of prostitution. Nobody will know. Innocent will never know. People will fall in trap. Mouse trap. So how, have you all seen that advertisement? I don't know how recently whether they provided any advertisement or not, because they got it. The master got cut, right? They got slapped on their face by I am that I am, Vethapriya PROSE. So they got the message. But how they were fooling with their advertisement. Priceless is the slogan for them, right? Always providing commercials that touches the human emotions, right? Priceless is the slogan. Did they make a joke out of it? Yes, indeed. They really made joke out of entire human kingdom, right? One side, doctors are treating humans as trash. Department of Justice, they don't know what is justice or injustice. Utility and landlords and property insurance and insurance, they don't know what they have to do. Banking sectors, they don't know what they have to do. Everything got crashed. When I shut down Walmart, banking sectors will shut down by default, right? Don't you all think so? Because Walmart also provides credit card. Are you laughing? I know you're laughing. So even beyond that $5,000 paying part of it, Walmart today must go into the jail. Because Walmart provided tax fraud. It is Walmart who provided the tax fraud. Right? So the MasterCard. So MasterCard is a vendor, I would say. Okay. Meaning, in a layman way, I will provide this little bit of education. If it's going 1 hour, it's okay. So, meaning, I would say, in a layman way, if you see some animals, the other animals, they are dependent on the other animals. I don't know how to say about that. You must have seen, like in birds, some other animal will sit on that bird, and when the bird is flying, that animal sitting on that bird gets to commute freely. It's a two-way help, right? But that bird will not say anything, hey, why are you sitting on my back when I'm flying, like that? But it still flies anyways. Like that, these are called as the vendors. So MasterCard is a vendor for Walmart or any of the banking sectors, like that. So if at all they want to come up with a credit card, they have to reach out to the MasterCard or other vendors like that. That's all. They call it vendor, V-E-N-D-O-R, vendors. So you all got it. MasterCard, tax fraud. Why, how educated population went to Harvard Law School provided this tax fraud. So the education services all crashing. Everything is crashing. It is crumbling one by one by one by one. You are witnessing, isn't it? I'm displaying the crime and you are witnessing how USA government is getting crushed in collapse mode, right? President Joe Biden is making a mockery, is making a joke. And this is not the time to provide that kind of a joke. Because when the crime is skyrocketing, he cannot even provide that joke, but he still is providing the joke and saying, fooling people, 1.9 trillion stimulus package is there. No, that is crime. Deadliest crime. So tax fraud. The tax fraud. Walmart threw acid on me. But today, can you see how the supernatural power and the God is fighting and working side by side for me? Right? I said I can bail out Walmart. But with this crime, there is no bailout mode, right? It's more helpless mode. But even in that helpless mode, I'm saying I can only bail out Walmart. Walmart provided tax fraud, credit card. Because when Walmart is providing credit card, it will have, one of the vendor will be MasterCard by default. So nobody can escape here. Everybody is freaked out after all. Can you see why software world and retails, the telecom, the Department of Justice, the landlord, they all threw acid on me. Department of Welfare Services, Hewlett-Packard, Associated Bank, they all threw their acids on me because they all got freaked out, and that is the behavioral pattern of the foolish people will do. In fact, Associated Bank have to provide me, another $1 million or $1 million or $1 billion for the patented design I already provided, right? So they took the design from me, but they laid me off. That is wrong, isn't it? And I was only providing healthy health. I was providing solutions, that's all, nothing more. If they are going to go this design route, then all things can be fixed. And that itself is $1 million worth of design cost. They should have paid me. At least when they were so keen on getting me laid off, they should have at least paid me that salary at least, right? Along with that base salary, the 72,000, and then finance loss incurred. So 100,000 means 100,000 plus at least $1 million for this design provided by me. They should have provided me. Then that would have helped me at least, right? Jealous, freaking mode, the fear. But now tell me, now even Associated Bank must be running towards the jail only, right? So they laid me off, and though I was in super frustration mode, can you see why God's labor is known to God only? Today, Associated Bank must run and get itself locked up in the jail. MasterCard provided tax fraud. Any bank you are going to take it, they are going to have contract with the MasterCard service. It's one of the vendor. MasterCard provided tax fraud, so Associated Bank must run to the jail and must be locked up right now. I only can even bail out Associated Bank. Now tell me, if only they would not have laid me off, I would have provided all the design solutions, I would have helped them. Right? They know. I already said the rock solid work ethics, isn't it? I finished, fastest way I finished, and they were all shocked. How on the earth, I already said, right? How many people would have been working there forever in Associated Bank? They all got freaked out, they all got shocked about how fast is than a robo I was able to provide the design solution. They finished it. That means whatever I have to finish in the 12 months time, I finished even in the shortest time. And they just laid me off. It's God's name is glorified, isn't it? Talent is a talent. Yes. People will ask me why you are unemployed, right? Why you are having the career break. Do you think I have to keep on explaining every time? It frustrates me because each and every single interview we have to prepare, no matter what, right? And every single time of the interview, before interview session, I have to color my hair. And always that interview means there is a dress code, we have to follow that, right? We are not there yet. The meaning, okay, let's do the interview even in the PJs, we don't care. We are not there. That nobody's there yet mode. At least this is a start that people started to work from home. That is a baby steps. That's all. We are not there. People are not there yet to see the people the way they are, right? They say when you're going to go to the interview, dress up. It matters. Even you're technically sound or whatever, that all comes secondary because you have to dress up correctly with the dress code for an interview. So that means you all got why I became emotional in earlier session, right? So for interview, it's not only going to be one interview, okay, we hire you, we want to sign up. So it will be easiest if they provide that way. So it creates that kind of a frustration, okay, anyways I have to work on those interview and, then okay, mood. So that's also created on purpose by Pope Francis and Elizabeth II, because people will get in frustration mode. They'll not even think of, okay, why can't we not go to job mode, that mode. So everything is boiling up to the Pope Francis only. It is Pope Francis the prostitute. It's because of him only I got laid off, right? I displayed. It is Pope Francis, Queen Elizabeth II, these people only destroyed finance services. I got laid off because of that. I got laid off because of that. What would you all have done? What Hewlett Packard laid me off for that. Today they have to go to the jail, right? MasterCard tax fraud. You keep puking. You keep puking because this crime is deadliest. It is Pope Francis who destroyed my career path, who destroyed destroyed my life in different versions, and $1,500 trillion for medical compensation, and state of Wisconsin to provide $500 billion, and Department of Health Services providing me $500 billion is the cheapest one. It's okay if my peers shout me, oh, this lady is super greedy. I'll still pass by with a silent smile because I know what I went through, right? When people are shouting, if I'm super greedy, we are asking for $1,500 trillion. They should have, the same population should have provided any help and educated people not to provide emotional torture to me. They never did that, right? At least that would have helped at least. Because that would have been prevention process. Nobody would have dared to provide any of emotional torture to me. So when people are going to shout at me that I am the greediest person in the earth, I will still pass by with a smile. You call me anything, you accuse me anything, you body shame me anything, nothing will enter in my ears. I'll just pass by with a silent smile. Right? I mean, enough more of all this injustice being bombarded on me. And it's my time, and I will burn injustice after injustice after injustice after injustice after injustice after in ashes. Let people watch how I burn the injustice in ashes. Who is she? Who is Queen Elizabeth II, the prostitute, to create hell for me? And who is Pope Francis, the prostitute, to create hell for me? Right? I never asked for those craps, those hell creators. They are the Lucifers, they are the Antichrist, they are the Satans, they are deadliest, venomous, pagans. They must not be living in the earth and USA allowed to live them. And that is only crime USA provided, and enough for the deadliest crime to get all the curse. Today, financial services of United States of America is broken in pieces with this civil justice sign-off. What would you all have done? You all fall in trap, right? The swiping of the card looks so easy. When we are not seeing the money in the taking out the money, it's only the card. That is an illusion, right? I already said people knowing how to use a credit card correctly only will get the healthy help of that credit card usage. Otherwise, they'll be just jumped on the lake of fire. They'll be gone in a and that is exactly what these people want. The financial people, the valuable, most valuable people are the finance debt people only, because they earn a lot of salary out of it from the interest alone. The people who pay them off on timely mode, they are the poorest consumers for these finance services. They do not even like them. These banking sectors, they do not like people who pay their bill everything incorrectly. No, they just hate them. For them, they earn salary only for people who cannot pay in time. They earn $1 trillion out of it every single day. Injustice way they collected tax, right? Injustice way they collected tax. That is a crime. They cannot ask Pope to come and help. Already I chopped the head of Pope. They cannot ask for Queen Elizabeth help. I chopped the head of Queen Elizabeth too. They cannot ask the help from the Islam leaders. You all know, right? The finance world is ruled by Islam next to the Pope Francis and Elizabeth II. Do you all know or not? I chopped the head of Netanyahu. He's another prostitute. I chopped the head of all Islam leaders, be it Iran leader, be it United Arab Emirates leader, you name any Islam leaders. I chopped all their heads. And backbone, the spinal cord, all death penalties already written by me. They have to just get out of the volcano. For them, no mercy. No mercy. I said, everybody knows that. That is why you all got it, why everybody threw acid on me. Why women are super jealous of me. When the jealous comes, everything comes. Everything of domestic violence comes, right? Inferiority comes, inferiority complex creates what? Insecurity. Insecurity creates what? So everything I educated. What is insecurity? What is inferiority complex? What is superiority complex? What is jealous? Everything. People never knew what is jealous until I educated. What is slavery? What is hatred? What is discrimination? So, MasterCard tax fraud. Zero tolerance, deadliest crime. And with that said, I will end this session. It is 1 hour, 11 minutes. MasterCard tax fraud. Entire finance services, you name, you pick and choose whatever bank you're at. All frozen mode. The best they can do is one more time they can throw acid on my face. I will still stand as a rock. And I will say, throw as much as acid on my face, it's okay. MasterCard tax fraud. Throw acid on my face. MasterCard tax fraud. Right? US bank must be going to the jail. US bank card must be going to the jail. finance, Wall Street, right? They say finance means Wall Street, the downtown of New York City. The entire New York City must go to the jail. That entire landmass has been lifted and must be thrown in the jail. Everybody loves to work on the skyscrapers, the dream job, how that downtown and that weekly, farmers market, this, that. Everything got shattered because of the crime, MasterCard tax fraud. And MasterCard tax fraud is only one part of the tax fraud. I already said it's just a mustard size. So can you count, like if there are thousands of mustards, can you count one by one? It's impossible, right? Or quinoa, or millet. Can you count them? It's impossible, right? This is how exponentially the crime is increased. It's out of control. Out of control. The Facebook threw acid on me. Today Facebook has to go to the jail. Right? MasterCard tax fraud. Nobody stood up. Nobody stood up and educated about this crime, and I educated, and they threw acid on me. Because it is because of this earnings, United Arab Emirates building skyscrapers in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, those prostitute nations. They are all super prostitutes. They all were burqa. I can use Q's words. The Q's words are right on the tip of my mouth, but I'm not, right? I'm working on how not to, displaying how not to, right? MasterCard tax fraud. Nobody can fix it. I can fix it. I can bail out. I can bail out MasterCard, but it will be my way. I'll have only cane in my hand, and I will discipline my way. When the banking sectors can provide credit card for all these unhealthy sex industries, nightclubs, strip clubs, Las Vegas, whatnot, pornography, the same banking sectors rejects any help if a civilian like you and me who are unemployed, who with little bit of that finance aid like a jump start could have helped them on a temporary basis at least. Even if they have provided the protection payment program loans to those people like homeless people, that would have helped, right? But they provided all these only to the richest population because they wanted, they're saying upfront, hey, have you all paid tax? Have you all paid tax to the Pope Francis and the Queen Elizabeth II? Oh yeah, then we can give you the loan. Otherwise, no loan, go home. So I nailed on the head of Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis the prostitutes. Yes, this session is all about MasterCard tax fraud. And yes, it is a darkest history in the entire human kingdom. To be aware, all the finance services worldwide is crashing in pieces. Not only in the United States of America. Not only in the United States of America. So the crime I'm talking about is the deadliest crime. Worldwide is crashing in pieces. Worldwide. Do you all know the meaning of worldwide? Oh, okay. I will provide in breakdowns. London is crashing in pieces. Germany is crashing in pieces. France is crashing in pieces. Dubai United Arab Emirates, the Qatar, the Jordan, the Oman, the Syria, they all are crashing in pieces. China is crashing in pieces. India is crashing in pieces. Russia is crashing in pieces. Japan is crashing in pieces. Myanmar is crashing in pieces. Burma. Australia is crashing in pieces. Sweden crashing in pieces. Finland, Iceland, Greenland, Norway, Poland, whatnot. You name any of the European nations, they are all crashing in pieces, including Spain, Portuguese, Ireland, Scotland, Wall Street, Stock Exchange, the end of the session. I know you all are laughing. The end, when I said the end is all about the MasterCard health creation process. It created the tax fraud. That is it. No excuse for that. MasterCard can fall down in knees before me and ask me for mercy. I will say I can bail out, but don't expect mercy, right? When I say no mercy means again I will be looking as rude as I can be, right? But that's just the way it is. Because I have to sit next to side by side with the MasterCard and provide design architect solutions and say this is how they have to provide the solutions, services. I have to teach them how to provide finance services the rightful way. As a teacher, I have to educate them. It's pathetic. It's very pathetic state that a finance services, a MasterCard like an organization, don't even know what is finance services at the first place. Is it a shame or is it shameless? You figure out the answer for yourself. Did you all ask for credit cards? Did you all ask for the interest rates to be provided on the credit cards? Did you? I never asked. I never asked for credit cards. What was the life of your population before that credit cards? How was the family bonding before that credit cards era? What happened to the family bonding when the card came, the credit card came? How? Why? Did software world, the software products, smartphones provided family bonding or it destroyed the family bonding? It became like a bugs, right? We all have seen in these movies only. Of how there are different movies. I don't know what the name of that. Mummies part 1, there will be that black color insect that will be huge volume, it became less like that. It became out of control mode, each household. The smart products are too many and people got freaked out and it's out of control mode too, right? But it was not like this before the robots came. Before the smartphone came, it was not like that. We use it only for talking. Whenever there's a need, we use the dial-up phone. Will you all use the dial-up phone one more time if all the smartphones are taken down and just provided with dial-up phone? I know you all are laughing. Nobody will love to, right? Because we got to know the luxury about using the smartphones. Because for dial up phone, for each every number we have to dial. It's a lot of labor. Versus a smartphone, you have to say, hey, call. It calls. Hey, talk. It talks. Okay, record my voice and just send it. It sends. So, MasterCard tax fraud. And I will end the session 1 hour 22 minutes. The overview session takes a lot of time. No matter what. Right? So whenever you are seeing a credit card and when you are seeing a MasterCard logo, now you got it. Right? When MasterCard is a tax fraud, everything shuts down, right? And this banking sector is crashing down is happening now means worldwide it's crashing down, not only in the United States of America. You all need to know about that. This crime is so deadliest. And this is only one mustard size of the crime. I have not even covered more crime. So you all keep puking. It's our puking time. Let Pope Francis be gone in ashes. It is he who created all this hell for you and me, for worldwide. Dr. Fauci, they forgot to provide guidelines for the mask, COVID-19 mask for MasterCard. Oh, that is another $1 trillion scandal. They have to answer why they failed to provide mask for credit cards. I nailed on their foreheads too. So it's a multitasking. So I must get the civil justice. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now. Have a good day.